I want to read a quote from you that was taken from something you said on a hot mic. So I don't think you were aware that it was being recorded, but it was later as was later released. And then I want to say something about it, and then I have a question about it, because I think that this will give us kind of a window into what was happening in the last days before you left Harvest Bible. So you said 30 years of faithful Bible ministry, and not once does Christianity Today say anything positive about me or Harvest while they celebrate Rob Bell, cheer Brian McLaren, and hero worship Bill Hybels. Only time the only time they have ever mentioned us in a negative light is 2 to 3 times. In fact, CT is an Anglican, pseudo-dignity, high church, symphony-adoring, pipe organ protecting, musty, mild, smell of urine, blue hair, Methodist loving, mainline dying, women preacher championing, emerging church adoring, almost good with all gays and closet Palestine promoting Christianity. So of course they attacked me. Now, um, I shared that for a couple of reasons. Maybe I need a longer white.
Like it. First of all, you like it.
I do like it, but maybe I need a longer, whiter beard to be a little bit wiser not to like it. But I do like it because, quite frankly, I think it's funny, and I also think it's a little bit true. But the reason I really wanted to share that is because I think that's a window into the frustrations that you were feeling at the time with the attacks that were being lobbed at you by these bloggers and then by Christianity Today, who decided to write an article about your church and about people leaving the church and what was associated, all the kind of associated facts with that, and kind of the misrepresentation that was happening. And I have to be honest with you too. The way I feel about this is I'm a storyteller, I'm a story writer, I'm a screenwriter, and I know that to tell a good story, you don't need the truth. You just need an emotional narrative. You need something emotionally compelling to tell a good story. And I can understand, especially as a pastor and dealing with some of the situations that I've dealt with, why you felt attacked and why you felt like you were being unjustly treated. And I don't think people give pastors enough kind of room here to be human, because the reality is who would want to be in your shoes at that moment with this financial difficulty that you guys were facing as a church, with all of these things being written about you from Christianity Today and then these bloggers and all this stuff, and all of this stuff was coming at you kind of snowballing all at once. So, and then I guess the other reason I wanted to share it is the last sentence there is you said, so of course they attacked me. So you were feeling attacked. Why did you feel the way you felt?
Um, because I was being attacked. I didn't feel attacked. Okay. You can feel attacked when you're at a dinner party and somebody says, why did you take the last tart? I didn't feel attacked. I was being attacked.
Okay.
I was being attacked by a group of former elders related to the church. It wasn't the people on the Elephant's Debt website. It was the people that were feeding them factoids, some of which had a basis in truth, some of which were just their viewpoint. And I got to be candid, I don't really lack thick skin. I'm not bitter toward any of those people at all. I'm really not. I could see any one of them right now and have a loving conversation with them. It isn't that. It's the impact that it has on the sheep. It's the way that from the beginning of this part of the story all the way through today, most people, that's why I don't like the megachurch conversation, because it doesn't see the individual. It doesn't see the lady who tried to get her husband to come to church for 4 years to listen to a pastor that communicated in a way that she thought that he could relate to. And then he came and gave his life to Christ and got baptized. Then all this happened. And he's like, I told you the whole thing was BS. And he'll never go back to church again. That's what we should be weeping for, not for James MacDonald. My goodness, the messenger is nothing. The message is everything. It's for the damage done. The people who get into the power store. Well, I want that chair. Well, I want to be in charge. Well, great, take it all. We shouldn't be fighting for position and power. People that don't have it assume things about people that do. It was always about the people and loving the people and caring for the people in the ways that I failed. I'm grieved by how the people were wounded. And when I'm feeling attacked, even, sure, there's something in it personal. But I have to say that you were a pastor for 18 years. The personal part of it gets just beat out of you. At the end of the day, what did Paul say? And besides all of this, So all the beatings and the left in the deep overnight and all the things that Paul had endured. But he said, besides all of this, the care of the churches
Mhm.
and the burden that you carry for the people. And candidly, most of the lay elders no idea about any of these people or these stories. They don't stand at the front of the church beside the little casket and weep with the parents about the lost child. They don't know that part. They just show up in a room and want to know, well, how much is he getting paid? And and so that is where the grief really is. The grief that under Christianity today, all the people that were saved, all the people that were baptized, 200 churches planted, nearly 100,000 people worshiping on a Sunday morning around the world in these churches. There's no celebration of the gospel wins.
Mhm.
There's just the advancement of what I felt was a very, very less biblical approach to Christianity. And I could live with them ignoring me. It's just that whenever they would talk, Christianity today, because of its history with Billy Graham, has more influence than it should probably have.
Mhm.
And so when they say that's a good thing, the emerging church, that's a bad thing, um, James MacDonald megachurch, that really is really wounding to a lot of people who consider them objective. And what I was saying in those litany of descriptors, they're they're not objective. They have an agenda just like I have an agenda and you
Absolutely.
have one. They're not objective. And what they're actually doing is advancing their mission to pull down hyper fruitful, or apparently the Lord will be the ultimate judge, but they're pulling down models of government that they see as, um, you know, antiquated, and they're championing models that appear to them to be more progressive.
Mhm.
And that's what I was really trying to say.
Well, I do have a really big follow-up question, but I don't want to diverge too much from kind of the general idea here. So you were being attacked by Christianity Today, but after this hot mic uh, recording was released on radio, the day after you were released from Harvest Bible Chapel, the place
Same
that.
day,
Oh, same
same day.
day. Okay, I'm sorry.
The
Um,
elders heard the elders were told about the recording. They never listened to the recording. They never met with me. They never brought any charges to me. I had no opportunity to reply to any of that. The first thing I would say is that in spite of the explanations that I've just given. So in law, there's guilty and there's guilty with an explanation.
mhm.
And I would say about that recording, which was illegal. So the U.S. Law provides that recording a person without their consent is illegal. Why is that illegal, Reed?
Well, because you, I don't really know why. I can
Well,
guess. So you tell me why.
it's illegal because the law is actually a beautiful, reasonable thing, and
Mm,
it allows that a person should be able to have a sanctuary of free expression without fear that that is going to be used against their will.
yeah.
Now, as a Christian, I want to say that we should be the same in public as we are in private. I'm not looking to hide behind the law. I would acknowledge that that recording is of my heart was unguarded and untended.
Hmm.
I make no defense of that. And I'm not proud of the poor attempts at humor. I'm grieved that some people have made it into he said he was going to do something versus he joked that he wasn't going to do something.
Yeah.
And I think those are very different. But I think the guilty person in our culture doesn't get nuance, doesn't get benefit of the doubt, doesn't get an opportunity to explain. And I wish that the elders had have sat with me and reviewed it, even if the outcome had been the same. I
Yeah.
think that it would have been more redemptive to talk to me and to give me an opportunity to explain just what was going on and where I was coming from. And again, I don't wish that I was still at Harvest. I just wish that it had gone down a different way. And I think that a lot, and ultimately, not even because of how it impacted me and my family, but really, I wish that it had gone down a different way because of how it impacted the people in church. And then the fact that the elders had, a month before I was fired, they had a lengthy 2,000 word statement of my repentance as it related to things that had happened there way before these letters were edited as a campaign to get me dismissed and all that. Way before that, I already knew. I offered to resign. I said, I can't do this anymore. I'd been saying for 2 years in elder meetings, I'm not doing well. I went away to a ministry recovery center for a month in the fall of October of 2017. And I never should have come back right then. Like, I don't think only a pastor could know how this stuff can grind you down to the point where you can't sleep. You
Absolutely
just can't continue. And I was, but you know, the show must go on, and we have bills to pay, and people come to hear him preach. And this is again how the size and demands of the church were mitigating against health, against what was best for the church, against what was best for me and my family. And I own my role in that. But you know, I should have got out earlier, and I tried to. And I'm very grieved that the people ultimately who affected what was a hostile takeover withheld from the congregation the things that I did own and confess as my sin, and no one else is responsible. Me, I was wrong. I have no one else to blame. And they had almost 10,000 words written by me, some of it read to them in their hands the day they fired me. Most of the elders never saw any of it. And worse, it was never shared with the congregation.
You can catch brand new episodes of Indie Thinker with Reed Huberman every Monday, and weekly bonus episodes to keep you thinking throughout the week. But you have to subscribe and click the bell to be notified when new episodes drop. If you enjoy this content, make sure to like this video and share it with friends.